Do you want to have kids in the future?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really do.
Like, I'm definitely not in any rush, but I know one day I want to have, like, at least 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And life starts getting in the way. You really have to, like, go back to the best part of what makes you who you are, which is, you know,
yeah.
for me, it's my mom and dad.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I'm the exact same way.
I was emotionally spoiled, and my dad worked so hard to provide me with a life that, like, I'm just so grateful for. I just hope I can live up to that with my own family.
Brad is definitely a family man, which is huge in my books. I think that I could fall for him.
Okay, so things look good for Laura B. on last night's episode of Bachelor Canada as we welcome back, of course, BT's entertainment host Carla Turner, Jesse Capina, a nightclub owner here in town, and Katie Plessick, a financial advisor. But then things kind of go sideways. What the heck happened?
I think they drink a lot of alcohol, and then, like many people, starting off in a relationship, you drink a bit too much, and then she started thinking too much. There's other women, she gets jealous and emotional, and then she ends up crying in the bathroom.
I love this. Like many people at the beginning of a relationship, you drink too much.
No, well, when you're starting, what's going on? What's
bathroom.
happening between us? What's happening between us? Like you hear so many times from a lot of women, and then sometimes they'll throw alcohol in there, and that's what we got.
Jesse, how many girls have you had to coax out of the bathroom in tears? Yeah,
countless. At the end of most of my dates.
Do you feel the pain that Brad must have been feeling at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, he gave her a rose on the first one-on-one date of the series.
Yeah, and jealous and emotional, to me, it's weak. Like, you're 2 weeks and you're gonna show the nation that this guy is able to basically have you in tears in a bathroom on national TV. You're weak.
It almost seems to me like the girls, or some of them anyway, to be fair, didn't really get the program, didn't really get how this whole thing works.
The reality, like, if you're jealous and you're a jealous person and you have self-confidence problems or whatever the issue, Bachelor is the show for you.
Okay, I love it. Now, it kind of got interesting when former Playboy model Melissa Marie decided to confront Brad. The fact that he hadn't shown her enough of his attention. Here's what I'm talking about.
Laura B saw myself and Whitney kissing, and she's crying in the bathroom. Laura, this is a girl who has a rose. This is a girl who just came off the most amazing date.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh, trust me, I know what it's about, so talk to me.
That's another thing what I'm upset about is how bad I want to go.
Yesterday was just amazing, and we got along right away, you know? I like her so much, but I want her to stay here. It's selfish of me to ask you to stay here, but I want you to.
Obviously not the clip we were looking for. There she is crying in the bathroom. Anybody else want to talk more about crying in the bathroom?
One thing he says is he said, this is a red flag for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, shouldn't it be?
Of course it
Absolutely.
should. Absolutely. But she's dug her own grave.
Okay, so, well, actually, let's stick on this for a second, because I mean, you said there, you know, you're weak, but I mean, I would imagine, I know you're happily married now, I don't want to go here, but I would imagine, like, in everyone's dating past, there have to have been moments where you had to put on a brave face, where you had to sort of quell these feelings that you had inside.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you have to, you know, she said she doesn't love herself. Well, I mean, that's
pretty extreme.
Yeah, that is pretty extreme. Like, this isn't Dr. Phil. This is the.
And were you showing up on The Bachelor to feel better about yourself?
Yeah.
Like, it seems to me like a recipe for disaster.
You compete with 25 other women for one man's affection, and you don't love yourself. So here's a great way to figure out your self-esteem. Yeah.
Bad advice. All right, here's the clip we're talking about. This is Melissa Marie confronting Brad.
Too scared to talk to me, Brad? I think I scare Brad. Because I'm so intense, I probably wouldn't talk the way she talks, but I have to admit, it's very entertaining.
I'm thinking so.
Feisty, eh, tonight?
See?
Yeah. Wow.
I think Melissa Marie needs to go home. She's bringing the energy of the mansion down.
There's a lot of reasons to lead me to believe that Melissa Marie will not get a rose tonight.
Jesse, I think she was right. She did scare Brad.
She did scare Brad. I think there's. I think Brad just realized the personality, a little bit of a butterface, and maybe she's going home.
Yeah, that's right. And And I think too, like at the end, she said, "Oh, I don't chase love." You're on a show with 25 other women for one guy. What do you mean you don't chase love? What did you think this was?
Speaking of those that were, we're not going to talk about what Bubba chases this week around. In closing, was anybody surprised by the admission of Chantel, the pastor, speaking of her virginal qualities on the show?
No, she's a Christian, but this is going to be a very difficult conversation, I'm sure, for her to have on national television.
You think it's
bring
going
it to the Bachelor? I say, if you have big things to talk about in your life, bring it to the Bachelor.
Bring it to live TV.
Help sort it out.
I don't think that'll be the biggest issue in their relationship. I think eventually he's going to be so annoyed with the sound of her voice that he'll send her home regardless of virgin or not a virgin, because I got to tell you, that's annoying enough for me.
We shall see, of course, Bachelor Canada again next Wednesday night right here on Citytv Edmonton, and these three will be here to break it all down next Thursday morning at 10 after 8. We'll see you again in just a couple of minutes. Bridget Ryan, ready to go. She's talking about